Hello and welcome into Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com. It's the PlayOnSports.com pregame show here live for you folks in the beautiful, cold, and rainy Paradise, California. I'm Matt Mellinger here alongside my partner and information man, Nick Dobus. It's California's Northern Section Eastern Athletic League Division I semifinal game between the 7-3 host Paradise Bobcats and the 8-3 Foothill Cougars. You couldn't have had a better matchup than these two teams. The number 2 and 3 seeds will be competing tonight for the right to contend for the Division I championship next Saturday night. Nick, I'm stoked to be here with you for this game, buddy. We finally got that cold, rainy game we've been waiting on all season.
That's right, Matt. Very excited to be here, too. You know, the Bobcats started this season as the favorite to repeat as the section champions and are one game away tonight from returning to the championship stage. But they face a Cougar team that has won 4 straight games with an explosive offense that's put up back-to-back 48-point performances against a Red Bluff team that defeated these Bobcats by 3 touchdowns in Week 9. The last win against the Bobcats on this field came on October 5th, 2007, which was a 28-10 kind of routing at that time, and also the last season in which Paradise lost 3 games in one season. I think if the Cougars can lean on their strength with just their offense, maintain balance, and make the most out of every offensive possession against a scrappy Bobcat defense, they have a chance at making this not only a wet but a wild game up here in the Ridge.
Certainly. The Bobcats also coming off of a much-needed week of rest. They had some guys that were pretty banged up as their wide receiver extraordinaire, Johnny Porter. If he's healthy and ready to go as expected, Foothill will have their hands full covering this guy. Porter has 21 catches for 454 yards this season, which is incredible considering they are a predominantly run-heavy offense that we've seen. Speaking of this dynamic and explosive running game, who could forget to mention the dynamic and explosive running threats? Number 9, Jonathan Dixon, and number 23, Tyler Burrows. Both extremely powerful and quick runners. Dixon right up the middle and Burrows to the outside. The D-line and secondary of the Cougars are in for a tough matchup tonight, certainly.
Yeah, that's right. I mean, this running game is entertaining to watch, but Ryan Pollard quietly has had 33 passing touchdowns for the Cougars this season, setting a Foothill High School record. So he's got to be a key aspect to this game as well. Also, Cooper Janaveskis has 17 receiving touchdowns in his 2012 campaign. The Cougars need to get the ball in his hands early and often in order to be successful. So we're just going to take a break right now for the national anthem.
Very nicely done. I tell you, it gives me chills every time. Going back to the Paradise offense, the team leader, quarterback Tom Hayes, who has just been tremendous this season, he's gone 47 for 104 for 914 yards in the air and has carried the ball 93 times for 802 yards. So I certainly can't wait to get things going here tonight. We'll take a quick break, and then the national anthem just happened, so I think we're pretty much ready to go.
Yeah, I think both these teams are pretty much ready to go for football, so we'll take that short break and be right back with you.
We are just about set for our kickoff.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the PlayOn School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
Max Valdez, number 80. And Izzy Roach, 33, on the stop for the special teams for Paradise.
And welcome back to Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com. The Cougars will start on their first possession right here. It's a quick out pass to number 5. He's going to take it along down to about the 34-yard line. Nice catch and run there by Davis Keppen.
Yeah, Davis Keppen is a very explosive threat for the Cougars here. Last week, Keppen had 5 catches for 97 yards, 1 receiving and 2 rushing touchdowns against Red Bluff, and also had 2 receiving touchdowns against the Bobcats last visit on Wraith Field, including a 50-yard double pass from Cooper Janis Vescus. So he's going to also have a big game to help this explosive offense out.
Man in motion there. Quick handoff to number 21. Jacob Shaddix gets forward for about 2 or 3.
Yeah, we're gonna be seeing a lot of the running game, I think, tonight. The rain has cleared up here for a few minutes, but we're expecting a lot more of it here, so we're probably gonna see a lot of ground and pound. Main focus is gonna be keeping that football dry as well, so we might see a fumble or 2 as well.
Certainly the field quality plays to the advantage of Paradise.
That's right, nothing like the home field mud underneath your cleats.
3rd and 5 now. Quick pass over the middle to number 7, complete. He gets a big gain there, down to about the 45-yard line of the Bobcats.
Yeah, and that's really a part of the Bobcats defense that's been kind of picked apart in the last few weeks. Enterprise did it in this home field here, and so did Chico. It's that soft spot in the zone. So I think if the Cougars can find those underneath routes, underneath the strength, or just behind the strength of the Bobcats defense, they're going to find some success here tonight.
So the Cougars moving the chains here on their first possession of the game. 10:15 to go here in the first quarter. Handoff again to Shaddix. Gets taken down there. Nice job by the defensive line of the Bobcats.
Yeah, that D-line has been playing really scrappy all year. A little undersized, but they've played a lot of the heart, especially here on Wraith Field. This is a defense that only gives up 17 points a game on this field, and they're going to have to keep the Cougars about underneath that number tonight in order to advance to the championship game.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Cougars. Blake Burnett in motion, given some trouble there. Able to complete the pass and take it down at about the 41-yard line. Nice job by Capon to shade a couple defenders.
Yeah, and beautiful play there by Zeph King, blitzing from his linebacker position. He's a lot like Charlie Tice that we saw last week from Orland Division II, just a general disruptor for the Bobcats, and he's going to have to be in Pollard's face early and often tonight to throw off that passing game from the Cougars.
This Cougar offense is a team that's averaging 230 yards per game in the air and on the ground.
Looks like the ball might have popped out there, Matt. I couldn't tell at the very end.
And Paradise is saying they have it. We'll wait for the indication from the referee.
Yeah, it looks like it was very close. And, I mean, as you're coaching as a team, very often you don't have to game plan for the weather, but on a night like tonight, your steps are going to have to be a little bit shorter. And it looks like the first turnover of the game goes to the Bobcats.
And nice job there. And see, we're going to be seeing that a lot tonight with the rain conditions. I mean, this is the first rain of the season, really. And guys are going to really be struggling to hold on to that ball.
Yeah, it's going to be a huge priority. Try to keep that ball dry on the sideline. Try to make sure you have that sure handoff, because you don't want to give up big turnovers like this to the Bobcats and give them very excellent field position early in this ball game.
And the Bobcats have to be careful, too, because they are a predominantly ground running game. There's Jonathan Dixon, the big boy, right up the middle. Looks like he gets stopped at about the 36 or 37-yard line, so picks up a couple. And we're going to be seeing him a lot tonight, as well as Tyler Burrows.
Yeah, the last 2 times these teams met, it was the Jonathan Dixon show. The minibus rolled for 204 yards and 3 touchdowns and a 53-25 conquest.
There's
over
Matt
the Cougars.
Machado down the side, finds a nice hole to the outside, gets down to about the 30 of the Cougars. So there we go. I mean, this is this wing T offense is certainly hard to stop because it's based on quick, deceptive bellies and traps right up the middle and to the outside.
Yeah, and it's an offense that really can pick up a huge chunk of yards in the running game. You'll see probably later in this first half, they like to run the ball in the 2-minute warning because they know they can fool the defense and get those big explosive plays like you saw right there.
Machado in motion. Dixon up the middle, not much there. And he was still on his feet, and his helmet was off. Luckily, they called the play dead there because he could have gotten hurt on that one.
Yeah, well, Dixon is a man that not only runs with his brain, but runs with his heart and his emotions as well. And he really wants to carry his team back to the championship game. And with an effort like that, he has a good chance.
Machado there gets stopped for about a yard loss. Not much going on that one. Great job by the defensive line of the Cougars to stop that play.
Yeah, good job by the defensive line to get down, shed those blocks, and really get their linebackers the lane that they need to stop that running play right in its tracks. And now it's going to be a 3rd and long situation here for the Bobcats.
7:05 remaining here in the first quarter. Machado in motion. Hayes fakes the handoff up the middle. Takes it to the outside there. And it looks like he will be close to the first down. Not sure where they'll spot it. But nice job by Hayes. He was given some pressure there, scrambled outside, was unable to get tripped up. Nice job. Nice run.
Yeah, Tom Hayes, a senior quarterback. If Dixon is the piston and Porter the accelerator, Tom Hayes is definitely the spark plug of this offense.
I like what you did there.
He's the guy who makes, he doesn't get a whole bunch of rushing yards, but he gets those big rushing yards when the team really needs it, just in that case right there, picking up a huge first down for his team. Nice job shedding the tackle and staying out of the mud right there, because I bet it's pretty slippery right around that 30-yard line.
And they're going to start to wear this Cougar defense out, come 3rd or 4th quarter with on the ground. There you see right there the anticipation, these nerves, championship game on the line. Guys are going to be anxious to get off the ball quickly.
Yeah, that's the first penalty of the evening for either team. And in a semifinal game like this, you can't have those mental errors. Obviously the cold and the rain is going to play a factor, but you really have to, cancel that out and keep your head in the football game.
So, but it'll be a 1st and 5 from the 15. Dixon pushing forward, still on his feet. Gets about a yard.
Yeah, if you're going to take down Jonathan Dixon, you can't do it one-on-one. And that was some good pursuit there by the Cougars not to give up on the play. All you have to do is stand them up, hold on, and wait for the cavalry to take them down. If the Cougars can do that all night and really stymie Dixon, which is a huge part of their running game, they have a good chance of maybe pulling out an upset here in the Foothills.
I see Tyler Burrows down on the sideline, and Matt Machado, the junior, is filling in for him. So not sure if maybe he's hurt or whatnot, but him and Dixon in the backfield. Burrows up the middle, almost has the ball stripped, able to hold on to it. Gets down to about the 11-yard line, so a 3rd and 1 or 2.
Yeah, very nifty play there from Ryan Ferris, coming up from his defensive back position to shed that block and really keep that play from bouncing outside. Nice play to keep contained, and now it's going to be another third down for the Bobcats in the red zone.
So the Cougars certainly are doing a good job with their backs pushed against the wall here. Dixon finds a nice hole, keeps his head down, and runs hard for the first down. So it'll be a 1st and goal for the Bobcats.
Yeah, the Cougars know 3rd and short, it's going to be Dixon's ball. Dixon had those 3 touchdowns. All of them were either 4 yards, 5 yards, and 1 yard. So he is the hammer on the short plays.
There he is again. Pushes forward, gets down close to about the 1 or 2 yard line. 4:35 remaining here in the first quarter.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if they go back to the big horse right here. 2 yards, you just grinding down that clock, try to get it in for 6 for Dixon.
And there he is, and he will be in for a Paradise touchdown. And see, they're going to be running the ball all night long, especially with the muddy conditions. I don't think Foothill's really used to this kind of mud up in the higher elevation, too. So certainly a lot of factors playing toward to the advantage of the Bobcats.
Yeah, obviously the unfamiliar weather, and, this is a field that they haven't had very much success on the last few years. Like, as I said, the last win for the Cougars on Wraith Field was back in October 2007. So they're going to have to shake off the demons from the past in order to climb back in this game and try to put a score on the board to even things out.
Andrew Machado's extra point is good. So the Paradise Bobcats strike first. Wasn't necessarily a pretty drive, but that's not the point of football.
No. And, these Bobcats don't do pretty. They do efficient.
Exactly.
They do have, Johnny on the spot Porter who can pull out the big plays when they need him to. But, Coach Prince likes to grind the ball out, eat out the clock, and, really put a lot of pressure on opposing teams that way. So we'll see if the Cougars can find a little – they had some good stuff going in that first drive. Let's see if they can find a little bit more balance, hold on to that ball a little bit longer, and find a way to tie this game.
So Blake Burnett and Azil Topate back to return this kick. 4:13 remaining here in the first quarter. And the other Eastern Athletic League semifinal game is Chico and Enterprise, and we will let you folks know the score when it becomes available.
Yeah, it should be a fantastic game. Enterprise had a bye last week, but Chico won in a shootout against Shasta 57-42. So expect some more fireworks down there in Chico tonight.
With their double threat quarterback system with Daniel Robbins and Trevon Reed. Very exciting football action up here. Azil Topete takes the handoff, takes the kick return down to about the 21-yard line. That was an incredible handoff.
I think that was the longest handoff in football history right there. Call the record books on that one.
Nice job there. You saw he slipped a little bit right when he wanted to take off. So it'll be a 1st and 10 for the Cougars from the 22-yard line. And this is a team that runs the ball just as much as they throw the ball.
Yeah, they
certainly. Go ahead, I'm sorry.
No, I was just going to agree with you there because this is an offense that averages 445 total yards a game. And I think in the first game they tried to throw the ball a little bit too much against these Bobcat defense, and they're going to have to find a lot more balance in order to win tonight.
Capon in motion. Handoff taken there by number 10, Blake Burnett. Gets popped hard. And you hear the reaction from the crowd there. Nice gain, picks up about 6.
Yeah, I believe that was Kenny Bangson introducing himself in a bad mood right there from his safety spot. Does a nice job eliminating that play and really stopping it from going for any more yardage.
So it'll be a 2nd and 4 from about the 26-yard line. Not much there. for Burnett.
Izzy Welsh, 33. And number 8.
Picks up about a yard.
And this is the down and distance that the Cougars really need to take a hold of and win tonight is 3rd and short. They need to find a way to extend their drives and really make the best of every offensive opportunity that they can get, because we know these Bobcats can really grind the ball out and put points on the board, so they're going to have to find a way to keep the ball themselves and march down the field.
So 3rd and short now. Man in motion. And there is a flag on the play. We'll see where they spot the ball. Not sure what the call was.
Yeah, it's going to be really close to that marker, but excellent job by that Bobcat front to really stonewall the offsetting play. It looked like the play was going to go right, but they kind of they countered it to the left, and it is going to be a penalty, the second penalty on the Cougars, and that's really going to stymie their drive a little bit.
It looks like a personal foul. Moving back 10 yards. I'm not sure what that call was.
I think it might have actually been a holding penalty on that left side of the line. So not only do you not get the first down, but you get the penalty with it. Add a little insult to injury.
So it'll be 3rd and 10 following those penalty yards. Burnett in motion. Pollard, quick pass over the middle, finds his man.
That's Mr.
Cooper
Janis Veskis on that one, or as his teammates call him, Cooper J. is the man on the spot right there, and unfortunately he didn't get enough yardage there. But I like how the Cougars attack the soft spot of the zone once again. I think they're going to have to keep hitting that soft underbelly if they want to move the ball. But unfortunately, it's going to bring up a 4th down in a punting situation.
Johnny Porter and Elijah Guerrera back to return this punt.
Davis to do the punting for the Cougars.
And he picks that ball up and gets it to about the 44-yard line.
Yeah, kind of a dangerous pickup right there with the ball hitting the mud. You're never quite sure if that ball's going to be too slippery, but luckily the young man made a nice play, and it's going to be the Bobcats once again with excellent field position going down the field. And this is not the start you wanted for the Cougars, opening up with that fumble and then having 2 penalties. That's not the way to get it done against a very, very good Paradise football team.
Absolutely.
Number 9, Dixon.
Jonathan Dixon still on his feet.
Gets him about 3 yards.
Picks up about 3 or 4 to about the 47-yard line with the minute 30 and counting.
Austin Gardner, number 12. One of the tackles for the Cougars.
Yeah, I wouldn't. As we said before, Coach Prince, this is a big drive here for the Bobcats. If they can really make this a 2-score lead right here, it's going to really force the Cougars to come out with something spectacular on offense on their next series.
Hayes back to pass. Finds number 11 wide open, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Paradise. Hayes finds Jay Dance wide open downfield.
And that simply just looked like a blown coverage right there. Cornerback just kind of bit on the play action, and there was no safety over the top, and Dance does his own dance to the end zone right there, extending the lead to 14. A 48-yard bomb right there.
I don't think the Cougars were expecting the pass. That's what's so good about this Paradise offense.
Yeah, very much so. And honestly, Tom Hayes, he usually kind of has slower starts to the game, doesn't really, get into a rhythm until about the second or third quarter, but makes a nice little throw right there. But, I mean, it's always pretty easy when the guy is wide open, and he found Dance in the blown coverage. And the Cougars are really going to have to, circle the wagons here and, get their composure back.
Penalties and turnovers, it's not good.
No, not the way that this Cougar team really needed to start this game. And Coach Hamilton, you can see talking to his kickoff return team here, they're going to need to get some solid field positioning on this return to help out that offense. So that defense they need to make some adjustments on that bench after that play.
Safe driving should be rewarded. That's Allstate stand. Contact your local Allstate agent
Burnett and Topete back to return the kickoff with 57 seconds to go here in the game. Just kidding, in the first quarter. Excuse me, we're getting a name correction. It's Topete. Azil Topete. And Blake Burnett. If you're the Cougars, you got to stay positive. I mean, it's only 2 possessions. Game's still way young.
Yeah, I mean, obviously the Bobcats grounded a lot of clock out, but you can make a big play right here if you want to.
Topete almost slips, keeps himself up. Able to get a nice 20-yard return or so, out to about the 35-yard line. So we'll see if Pollard and the guys can get something going here.
Yeah, they've been kind of mostly stymied in the running game so far in this first half, but they can't really stray too far away with it because that's the bread that eventually leads to their passing butter.
Yeah.
And gets them, the 6 points that they're usually getting. But as you said, they need to, stay calm. Don't get frustrated. It's only a 2-score game. A lot of football left here in the Foothills.
Shattuck's in the backfield. Gets the handoff there. Finds a nice hole. Gets about 5 or 6. So certainly nice run.
Yeah, very nice run by Shattuck. This young man had 123 yards rushing and a touchdown last week and had a receiving touchdown against the Bobcats the last time these two faced off. So he's going to have to be a dual threat as well in this game. Try to get the ball to him in many different ways. But that was a very nice off-center run play right there.
3 receivers to the near side. Pollard in the shotgun. Burnett in motion, takes a handoff. Stop there. Great stop there by number 40. Zeph King in on another big tackle.
Yeah, I like the play call right there by the Cougars. Try to get, work the wide side of that field where it's a little bit drier, where the Cougars won't slip as much. But Zeph King making another tremendous play from his linebacker spot, and it's going to bring up a pretty big third down here as we head into the second quarter.
So that'll do it for the first quarter here, folks, in Paradise, California. 14-0 the score, and we will let you guys know the other score from the Eastern Athletic League as soon as it is available. PlayOnSports.com is not only your destination for Friday night football action, but it's also the place for the most comprehensive coverage of high school playoff and championship events in all sports from across the country. PlayOnSports.com. High school sports lives here, folks. Matt Mellinger alongside Nick Dobus.
That's right. Not only will we be covering the football championships next week, but actually our crew will be working the divisional volleyball games, divisional championship volleyball games tomorrow at Red Bluff High School. So we're really looking forward to working with that and seeing the great action there up in Red Bluff.
Certainly, and I have to say again, like how impressed I am with the athleticism of these teams up here.
Yeah, even though they're down by 14 points right now, the Cougars trailed by a touchdown at the half last time, but were shut out the entire third and most of the fourth quarter until Janice Veska scored with about 7:25 left in the fourth. So these Cougars still have proven to have a lot of fight, and obviously a touchdown here will really help change the complexion of this game.
Pollard in the shotgun. Shattuck's in motion. Given some pressure there. Paddocks rolls out and gets hit hard. Just about at the line of scrimmage, so that'll be a 4th and 3.
I wouldn't be too surprised if Coach Hamilton decides to go for it here. I mean, obviously you can kind of pin the Bobcats back, but with a 2-score lead, they can easily grind out that clock. So, and I think they are going to go for it right here.
4th and 1, you got to go for it, down by 2.
We'll see if Shattuck's gets the handoff maybe to the right hand of that offensive line, which has been playing pretty well tonight.
Paradise will be bringing Izzy Welch. Burnett in motion. Handoff up the middle. He gets stopped. Great job there by the Bobcats.
Yeah, the Bobcats sniffed that one out pretty quickly, and I don't even think he got to the line of scrimmage on that one. Just got completely turned back, and that's another huge turn of downs in this game, and now the Bobcats are certainly licking their chops and looking to extend this to a 3-touchdown game.
You know, that's unfortunate for the Cougars. I bet you some of those kids are pretty disappointed right now, especially if Paradise can score again right here.
Yeah, they're obviously, you know, really respecting the secondary of the Bobcats, not trying to put the ball in Janice Veska's hands right there.
Hayes gives it to number 9.
The Dixon bus up the middle for about 5.
It's 4 yards right away.
Gets down to about the 36-yard line.
And this is kind of the distance that we saw the play action pass last time. I wouldn't be surprised to see it again with this time going to Mr. Porter, who is very, very potent, especially on this field. Had a fantastic one-handed catch during that Enterprise game, and is one heck of an athlete up here in the northern section.
Dixon again up the middle, finds a hole. He's all alone. Touchdown, Paradise. And they did not have a chance on that one, folks. Dixon found a nice hole up the middle and made reservations for 6, as you like to say.
He did. You know, he made a lot of reservations for 6 in the last game, and he's already got 2 touchdowns in this rematch, and that's going to take the wind out of the Cougar sails right there.
Especially after that big 4th down. Andrew Machado's kick hits off the goalpost, and that is no good.
Yeah, he's had some struggles this season from the place kicking position. I don't think it's going to affect him in this game so far, but he definitely needs to clean that up if they do advance to that championship game.
They have a comfortable 20-point lead with 10:29 to go in the first half. I'm starting to get chilly. I think I might put on my brand new gloves.
Jonathan Dixon, this was really, as we said, the last time these two teams met was really his breakout game. He stepped in the week before that. He stepped in for, I believe, Burroughs, who was injured, and had a nice game against Pleasant Valley, also a 3-touchdown game. So this is a man that really loves to supply the hat trick on the field on the offensive side. So we'll see if he gets to that mark again.
Burnett and Topetti back to receive the kickoff. Andrew Machado will be kicking off for the Bobcats. And a short kick. Fair catch called. So the Cougars will start on the 41-yard line. We'll see what Ryan Pollard and the boys can do.
Yeah, as I said in the pregame, Ryan Pollard has had a fantastic season, 33 passing touchdowns. And I think that, they try to, establish some balance early, but the Stout Bobcat defense has really shut down the running game. They might want to think about kind of changing that game plan, maybe spreading them out a little bit more and work the perimeter, because that Bobcat interior has been stout so far.
Shattuck's in the backfield. Capon in motion. Quick pass over the middle. Complete.
Very nice play design right there by the Cougars. Get everyone looking to the flat with the motion. They had Cooper Janis Veskis, or as we said earlier, Cooper J, do the nice little slant.
That's what we'll call him. Cooper J.
Yeah, he's got a very difficult last name, but known as Cooper J by his teammates. Picks up a huge and much-needed first down there. First down for the, second first down of the game.
I like how Pollard gets rid of the ball quick and fast. We've seen a lot of quick passes that have been complete. Much of their only success on the offensive side of the ball. Shattuck's with a nice carry there.
Yeah, and I think the Cougars need to kind of pick up their tempo a little bit, especially down by 3 scores right now. Maybe try to rush to that line, kind of wear down that Bobcat defense, just like that Bobcat offense is wearing down that Cougar defense.
2nd and 4 for the Cougs. 9:30 to go here in the first half.
Pollard, number 15, again, the quarterback.
Pollard takes it himself.
Close to a first down. It'll be shy, be third down.
Gets about half a yard. So 2nd and 3.
Yeah, that Bobcat front is kind of bending a little bit, but they haven't really broken on 3rd down yet, except for the earlier 3rd down on this drive. Let's see what the Cougars dial up here. They try to go with Shaddix on a 4th and short earlier. Let's see if they try to test that perimeter once again to get that first down.
So 3rd and 2 now for the Cougars. Pollard in the shotgun. And they're going to call timeout. I think that's a good call.
Yeah, you just want to make sure, all your ducks are lined up in a row. This is a very big 3rd down here. You get a touchdown, you kind of start to begin to crawl back into this game. So you just want to make sure you at least pick up the first down here. I mean, obviously this is 2-down territory for the Cougars, but you don't want your season resting on this 4th down and let the Bobcats take it down and run it right down your throats once again. So as we mentioned, the other Division I game is Enterprise and Chico, but Division II has some pretty juicy matchups as well, as undefeated Sutter meets Orland, who won 33-0 against Wheelan, and that Sutter-Orland is actually a rematch of last year's Division II championship, so there's going to be worlds colliding on that one. And then West Valley, the number 3 seed in Division II, will take on number 2 Central Valley tonight as well. So a lot of great action going up here in the north section.
It's been interesting to be a part of it this season.
3rd down.
So 3rd down for the Cougars, who just took a timeout. Burnett in motion. Fakes the handoff. Quick pass to the outside. They're going to be able to pick up the first down. Caught by Davis Capon.
Davis moves it to the 36-yard line.
So nice job. That was a good timeout.
Yeah, it was a good timeout, and I really like the play call too. It looks like the Cougars are really going to keep testing the flats and the perimeters. I think mostly for 2 reasons. 1, the strength of the Bobcat defense is really in the interior, and 2, it's not where the mud is. So when you got a lot of speed at the receiving core, you need to make sure they have good traction. So I think that's why they're testing the outside. Nice job there.
That was definitely a well-designed play action, quick pass. Shaddix takes a handoff to the outside. Nice job by those linebackers to get up there.
Zephyr King, number 40.
And there's Zephyr King again,
Yeah,
doing his thing. I saw him the whole way.
that's
Doing
right.
a
Yeah,
great job of reading those
made
plays.
a nice job reading that play. Really tracked it with his eyes. And once again, that defensive line really opening up that lane there, so Zeph King can fly in and make a nice stick and force a 2nd and long here.
So 2nd and 10 now for the Cougars. 2 men in the backfield. Pollard in the shotgun.
Pollard from the shotgun.
Another quick strike over the middle. Great job there by Johnny Porter to make sure he didn't get any additional yards. And that's a first down for the Cougars.
Yeah, that's one of the longer passing plays we've seen out of the Cougars so far tonight. Haven't really tested too much that secondary, which is actually a very good secondary, but I think for the Cougars to find some more success, they're going to have to, kind of ante up and kind of gamble on those longer pass plays. Nice job there. And nice job of
Nice job by Johnny Porter.
Yeah, Johnny Porter and
Making that big stop.
Drew Miller with the catch right there to hold on to it and shake off Porter.
Pollard throws towards the end zone. Finds a wide open Davis Capon. He beat his man there, and he had him by at least 4 or 5 yards.
Just as we were saying, the Cougars haven't really tested the secondary too much, and after that play, I think we might see a lot more of that very nice ball by Pollard, putting it only where his man can get it, and the Cougars are finally on the board here with about 7 minutes left in the second quarter.
He has a great arm. Quick release, able to throw downfield. Nice catch by Capon. So the Cougars able to get some points on the board.
And that gives them a little bit of room to breathe, but they still have a lot of work, especially with that missed extra point.
However, the Cougars come away with 6 points, 7:02 remaining here in our first half. Bobcats 20.
And Capon unable to
Foothill 7.
convert the extra point.
Sessions and the first
So 7:02 to go here in the first half. The Foothill Cougars able to get some points on the board. Down 20-6 here.
Yeah, and I think they kind of found their recipe to move around this Bobcat defense. Use the perimeter, use your speed on the outside, get the ball downfield, and then take your shots to the end zone. You have a quarterback that can make that, those
That can
deep
throw
fade
bombs.
throws, throw those bombs. I mean, obviously Johnny Porter is a great athlete at safety, but if you can find your one-on-one matchups like they did right there, the Cougars can find a way to climb back into this game. Now it's up to the defense to finally throw a monkey wrench at Jonathan Dixon, hopefully slow him down, and hopefully force a punt to get the ball back.
Much of the Cougars' success tonight has been in the air. You look and see all those quick strikes over the middle. They're getting first
Quick
downs
strikes to the outside.
Yeah.
I think they just need to get the ball in their athletes' hands as quickly as possible, and that's what they did nicely on that drive.
Great job by Pollard to get things going. Machado's going to let that one stay, so they'll take the touchback, and they'll start from the 20-yard line. So here comes Hayes and the Bobcats. And I really like what they're doing on the ground as well as in the air. I mean, we saw that touchdown in the air.
Yeah, this is over the season I've really described this Bobcat offense as patient. It doesn't matter if they're up by 2 scores or down by 2 scores. They have a game plan. They're going to stick to it.
10 for the Bobcats. Number 2, Tom Hayes at quarterback.
Quick handoff up the middle. Not much there, maybe half a yard.
And even though they're stuck in a second and short situation, they're not going to panic and try to throw the ball here. They're going to take their opportunities when they see it in the passing game. So let's see what they dial up here to try to get some yardage for the third down.
And Coach Prinz also likes to, keep the clock moving. You've touched on that a little bit earlier, too. Here you see it. You're up by 2 possessions. Hayes to the outside. Wide open down the sideline. And he's going to keep going. Finally taken down at about the 22, 23-yard line or so.
And that is a play.
Both of those guys are slow to get up.
Yeah, that is a play that has really plagued the Eastern Athletic League that a lot of teams don't want to see. But Hayes does such a nice job of just hiding the ball, carrying out the fake, and he has the speed to take it around the outside. Almost took it to the end zone, but was dragged down at the very end right there. Good effort by the defender to drag him down, but the Cougars are really going to have to come up with something spectacular here to stop this Bobcat offense.
That was Davis Capon who ran him down. Great second effort. Quick handoff up the middle there. Dixon gets about 2 or 3.
And see, that was what I was referring to as Tom Hayes as a spark plug earlier. He's just a guy who, doesn't really put up a lot of numbers. That might be his longest run of the night. Might not get too much more, but that's a play that will really, if the Bobcats score here, really put the hammer and really make the difference in this ball game.
So 2nd and 6 now.
Dixon, the ball carrier, he gets it to the 20-yard line.
Another handoff up the middle.
Getting hard to see those white jerseys now.
Dixon will get to about the 21 or 20-yard line, bringing up a 3rd and 4 with 5:22 remaining here in the first half.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see if the ball remains in Mr. Tom Hayes' hands right here. Try to get around the outside on the right side of the field possibly. Or we haven't really called Johnny Porter's name on offense yet. I know he's been battling a sore ankle, but this is an excellent opportunity for him as well.
42 takes a handoff. Finds a hole and gets a couple yards. That was Dylan Knox. There's a new face.
Yeah, they have a lot of horses in that stable down in Paradise. But Knox, you're right, doesn't get a whole lot of carries, but His number was called right there and is going to make this very, very close, 4th and short.
4th and about 1.
And, you know, if you're the Cougars, this is your opportunity right here.
Exactly.
Obviously, the Bobcats, they're going to take a timeout probably to think about it. Or it looks like Foothill will take a timeout. Coach Hamilton, knowing this could be a big stop for this defense and possibly try to get back in this ball game. So let's see what the defense style is up here. But it's going to be very difficult. For, 4th and 1. Bobcats playbook is wide open right here. You obviously got Dixon. You have Burrows, who has been having a spectacular second half of the season. And then there's always Tom Hayes. So we'll see what the Cougars can do here to stop them on 4th and 1.
And with the wing T-style offense, I mean, it's just impossible for the Cougars to be able to tell what they're going to do on a 4th and short. You know, so certainly, you know, it's good that they called a timeout, but that also gives Paradise more time to think about it. So look for something extremely deceptive to go with.
You know, Matt, I was looking at the Cougar losses this season, all 3 of them, and kind of eyebrow-raising with the teams. You have Paradise in the Foothills, Enterprise at Enterprise, and against Placer, who's 11-0 and the #1 seed in the San Joaquin section playoffs and playing tonight in the quarterfinals game. So this is a team that's, you know, they've played some very tough teams this year, and they're going to have to get tough right here.
And again, Dylan still on his feet. Unbelievable. That was Dylan Knox again to the outside. Able to get way more than a first down. And it'll be a first and goal from about the 9-yard line.
Yeah, the young man not having much of an impact throughout the season, but made a huge first down right there. And it's going to force, looks like it's going to be a first and goal here for the Bobcats. And they're knocking on the door right now with Dixon looking to kick it in.
Hayes over the middle. Touchdown, Paradise. Able to find Jay Dance again. That's the second score of the day for Jay Dance.
Yeah, nice little play there. The Cougars have been kind of been fooled by that play action most of the night, and Dance was once again able to dance by himself in the end zone for another 6 points.
And at this point, he appears to be a candidate for our player of the game. Brought to you by Chico Whitmire. Just kidding.
It would be nice to get some sponsors.
I know,
you know, it would be nice, but you know, eventually.
I always like to add on a little sponsorship.
And with that cue, it looks like the rain is coming back to the Foothills.
And just in time, it'll 4 minutes till halftime. Let's maybe get this field a little bit more wet.
Glad to see our jerry-rigged tent here was not in vain. You know, hopefully it will hold up and not drench us by the end of the evening.
I wonder if Justin, our cameraman, can take a look down here and show these folks our little tarp tent. Oh, come on!
No, I don't want my dad to see. I don't want to see I don't want my dad to see that at home. He's going to tell me what I did wrong. So let's just keep it on the field for all the folks at home.
Looks like if a fly lands on it, it'll fall over.
Oh,
just kidding. You
man.
did a good job.
Well, as you said, Dance appears to be on track to be our player of the game. Had the nice 48-yard touchdown pass in the first quarter and adds another one right there with about 4 minutes left in the second quarter.
And, you know, like we've touched on a bunch so far this game, the field quality, you know, you really see no signs of Paradise having trouble with this muddy field, but you certainly do see it from Foothill.
Yeah, and that's something, you know, that's not it is a reason, but if you're the Cougars, that's not an excuse.
Absolutely.
You knew it was going to rain all week. You game plan for it. You're down by, you know, a bunch of points right now. You just got to put that out of your head and find a way to crawl back into this ball game.
Nice kick there. And he's going to take that all the way out to about the 35 or so.
Yeah, that would finally give the Cougars some manageable field position to work with. And they're just going to have to find a way to somehow get a quick score and maybe get the ball back once again before the second half. Because the Bobcats are going to be getting the ball back here to start the third quarter. So the Cougars are going to need to find a way to make 2 scores up before the end of the half.
And they have 4:10 to do it, so Pollard and the boys back to work here. Capon in motion. Pollard back to pass. Throws a quick out to number 10, Blake Burnett. Able to pick up about 5 or 6.
Yeah, they've been using the motion a lot in this first half to kind of confuse the linebacking core for this Bobcats offense, but they haven't been fooled too much by it. Nice pursuit right there. Cougars did pick up a nice second down, but a nice 5 yards right there for the second down, but the Bobcats defense has been pretty good all night.
Pollard in the shotgun on 2nd and 5. And there was a bit of movement on that defensive line.
Yeah, it looks like the Bobcats will be picking up their first penalty of the night.
Encroachment is the call. That'll be a first down, I believe. There you hear some noise from the Cougars fans. So 1st and 10 from about the 45-yard line.
Now we're going to give the Cougars a 1st and 10.
Folks, be sure to stay tuned for the PlayOnSports.com halftime show. At the conclusion of this quarter, we will go over some of the action that we've seen here so far, as well as bring you guys some scores from around the league. That's in a few minutes until halftime, and then we'll take a quick break and then bring you the halftime show. Pollard's pass there. His receiver unable to come up with it.
Yeah. Drew Miller had the nice catch earlier in the red zone. Tried to bring that one in right there, but obviously it's getting a little bit wetter here, so ball obviously slipped out of his hands. Great effort, though, by the young man.
So 2nd and 10 now. Pollard in the shotgun, back to pass. Fires over the middle, intended for Davis Capon. Throws it short and behind him.
Yeah, it looks like they tried to sneak behind the Bobcats secondary there. The only time they really had success was when they had that one-on-one coverage that led to the touchdown. They might need to shorten up their routes. Like I said, hit the soft underbelly of that Bobcat zone in order to move the ball. And this is another big 3rd down here for the Cougars. And they need to find a way to pick this up and score, or else the Bobcats are going to just run away with this one.
3rd and 10 with 3:06 remaining. Pollard in the shotgun. Back to pass, nearly picked off. Able to come up with a catch as Capon, after it was tipped, almost intercepted. That was an interesting play right there.
Yeah, just two great athletes going after a jump ball, and Capon was just good enough just to snag it away from Johnny Porter right there and makes a great first down. And as I've said throughout the season, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good, and Capon got the nice lucky catch right there. Actually looks like he's going to be just short of the first down.
Oh, wow. Yeah, it'll be a 4th and really short.
Yeah, no, I thought he got that too, but it looks like he's just going to be about half a yard to a yard short. So obviously the Cougars are going to go for it here. Yeah, definitely look for Cooper J to make a play here for his team.
Pollard in the shotgun.
And it looks like we have another timeout here by the Cougars here. Coach Hamilton is going to ring in his squad and talk about it. Do you want to watch more of your school's great matchups, like the game you're watching here tonight? Tell your school to sign up for the PlayOn Sports School Broadcast Program. The program allows schools to broadcast all their games and other activities on the web. For more information, go to playonsports.com/SBP.
You are a great voiceover talent.
I try.
So that's a smart timeout there. Used their last timeout on a 4th and short. I mean, this is extremely imperative that they convert this.
Yeah, and if you're Coach Hamilton here, you know obviously the touchdown is the main priority. You also want to milk as much clock as you can. The last time these two teams faced off, the Cougars had a great 50-yard double pass play from Janovescas to Kepon with about 2 minutes or so left in the first half. And then the Bobcats marched right down the field, and Johnny Porter scored with 5 seconds left. So if you're the if you're the Cougars, not only do you need to get this first down, but you need to milk that clock before you score a touchdown so the Bobcats don't get a chance to score.
There you see Cooper J lined up down to the near side of us. 4th down, they will be able to convert. So first down for the Cougars. Quick handoff there up the middle for Shaddix.
Yeah, then once again, the linebacker is kind of looking on the motion right there, respecting that. And Shaddix was able to make a nice power run ahead right behind that right tackle. And they make a much-needed first down.
So 1st and 10 from about the 44-yard line, 43-yard line with the minute 50 remaining here in the second quarter.
Looks like they're going to walk both their linebackers up here for the Bobcats.
Pollard back to pass. Finds number 7 wide open over the middle. That's Drew Miller. And Miller's been open over the middle all night long, and we've seen that a few times now already. Great first down there, and that's exactly what the Cougars need to get things going.
Yeah, and Drew Miller has done an excellent job so far in this first half, finding the gap in the Bobcat zone. It looked like the Bobcats were going to bring an all-out blitz right there, but they checked out of it, and Miller was able to sneak right behind the linebackers and in between the safeties, makes a nice first down for his team.
So nice field positioning, 1st and 10 from about the 21-yard line. Burnett in motion. Screen pass. And there's some nice hitting right there. Blake Burnett able to get forward for about 8 or 9 yards.
Yeah, the Bobcats are really going to have to start attacking the flats because that's where the Cougars have had some success, most of their success tonight in the passing game. So those short 5-yard outs to the outside. It looks, as we said, because it looks like that's where most of the traction on the field is. So let's see if the Cougars keep trying to punch it away right there. We have Drew Miller here at the bottom of your screen. See if they try to go to him in the end zone.
Pollard in the shotgun. Low snap, almost bobbled. Nice job there. And that was number 8 in on that stop. Kenny Bankson, nice job there. He read that play immediately. And Shaddix was hit as he caught it.
Yeah, it was a good play by Pollard to keep pick up the ball and make the throw, but very nice play by the Bobcat defense to capitalize on the miscue and force a 3rd down.
So 3rd and 7, Pollard in the shotgun. Play action bobbles the pass. And I think that's a turnover. Oh, no, okay. Excuse me, they're saying incomplete pass. Looks like he did a little pump fake there, and the ball slipped out of his hands or something.
I think he was trying to tuck it, but the ball came out of his hands during the throw, which makes it an incomplete pass. Luckily for the Cougars, though, they retained possession, but this is an all-or-nothing 4th down right here.
Yeah, not looking good. 4th and 7. And they'll certainly have to think this one over.
Yeah, certainly probably the biggest 4th down of the Cougars season right here. They need this to try to get back in this ball game.
37 seconds remaining in the first half. Pollard in the shotgun. Quick pass over the middle, in and out of the hands of number 5, Davis Capon. And it looks like it just hit his fingertips, and that's an unfortunate turnover.
Yeah, it looks like the play was there, but Pollard, standing right in the middle of that field where all the mud is, just couldn't quite get his feet together and kind of sailed the ball and just out of Kepon's reach. Could have been a huge first down, but it's going to be an opportunity for the Bobcats. Now, usually I would say, Coach Prince would, kneel the ball here, but he's a very aggressive coach, and we see that this team can move the ball down the field quickly. But it looks like he is going to take the knee, actually.
So Hayes is going to take a knee. That'll do it for the first half of action. A quick half of action. Only took an hour long. And certainly an interesting first half of football here up in Paradise. And that'll do it for the first half, ladies and gentlemen. Be sure to stay tuned. We will be back in just a few minutes for the halftime. Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com. It's the PlayOnSports.com halftime show here for you folks in Paradise, California. Matt Mellinger alongside Nick Dobus. And Nick, what an interesting first half.
Yeah, it's been a very interesting first half. The weather not so much affecting the Paradise team here, since it's been the Dixon and Dance duo show here, both having a pair of touchdowns in this first half. And the Cougars have been kind of slipping around on the field. They had that early fumble, which started off the game wrong, and some early penalties that really set them back. They had some good passing opportunities on the perimeter, but just haven't really put it all together to keep this a competitive game. So I think if they keep hitting the perimeter of the Bobcats defense, maybe into that soft zone, they have a chance to climb back in this ball game. But Tom Hayes and that relentless offense is going to be getting the ball back here in the second half, and that Cougar defense is going to really have to step up.
You know, a couple of forced turnovers for the Cougars, and, this isn't, to say the least, what they had expected, coming into the third quarter.
No,
so they're certainly going to need to fine-tune some things, just get things back on the right track if you want to have any chance whatsoever.
No, yeah, I think I think a lot of people knew that Paradise, obviously everyone knew Paradise is a very good team, but I honestly thought coming into this game that the Cougars would come out with a lot more fight and a lot more focus and really make this a close ball game in the first half like they did last time, but that hasn't been the case. So they're going to have to dig down deep and really climb out of this hole if they want to extend their season to the championship game. Just to update you some scores around the northern section here. In the other semifinal game, Enterprise is trailing Chico 13-7 at the half. In Division II, it's all threes across the board as Southern Orland are tied at 3, West Valley and Central Valley tied at 3. So Chico is looking to play upset and get themselves back in that championship game right now where, unless things change, it looks like they'll be facing a Bobcat team that's looking to repeat once again as section champs.
That's going to be an interesting outcome of that game. Certainly the very close game right now up in Reading. So we are just about set to go here for the third quarter. And that'll do it for our halftime show here on PlayOnSports.com. We'll be back in just... Friday Night Football here on PlayOnSports.com. We were just doing a little Wayne's World impression for you folks. And the rain is finally starting to come down, so this is – I'm loving it. We've been wanting a rainy game for
I was talking
10 weeks now.
I was talking to my fellow broadcaster the other day, Frank D'Arienzo, about, we don't see too many mud football games in the the professional and sometimes the collegiate level anymore, just because the fields have gotten so advanced. And even though it's helped the game out a lot, it really does take away that little special ambiance that is mud football. And that's the beauty of this game, is it can be played in any weather. So let's see how these two teams fare in the second half.
Tyler Burrows is going to start from his own 5-yard line. Gets up to about the 25. So nice return there. And now that the rain's really coming down hard, I mean, expect a different, feel to the game, dynamic, and add wetness in there and cold, and should be interesting.
Yeah, I don't think Coach Prince and this offense will be eager to air the ball out unless they get within, in the red zone shot on the other side of that 50. They'll be just comfortable grounding that ball in grounding that ball on the ground and moving the ball that way.
This is their wheelhouse right here. You know what I'm saying? There's Machado, still on his feet to the outside, dragged down at about the 43-yard line. And so he just had his head down and hit the hole.
And Machado.
You saw a bunch of the Cougars slipping around out there.
Yeah, Machado almost put that one in his wheelhouse for a home run. Nice balance by the young man to stay on his feet, leave a couple Cougars behind, and pick up the first down of the second half.
And that's the junior filling in for Tyler Burrows, who's, getting over a bit of an ankle injury. There he is again with another, and he trips over one of his players. Had a nice hole right up the middle. I thought he was going to take that to the house, but he tripped over his own teammate.
Yeah, Machado has really come alive since stepping in for Burrows. 147 rushing yards a couple weeks ago against Las Plumas. And he's really helped share the offensive load with him and Johnny Porter also protecting a sore ankle.
Quick handoff to Dylan Knox.
Dixon, he'll be close to a Bobcat first down. Luke Kelly again.
Oh, no, it actually looks like...
Was that number...
I believe Dixon actually might have changed numbers, and he's actually wearing number 42 now.
Really?
I'm not sure if that's the case, because Dixon usually wears number 9, but our man on the PA system here just called out Dixon, so he might have changed numbers there on us throughout the season.
Well, he was wearing 9 earlier in the game.
Maybe it just got too wet for him.
Yeah, who knows? And they're going to bring the chain gang out to measure this. Should be pretty close to the first down. The whole crowd is pretty quiet. And first down, Paradise. Certainly a good thing to have with 10:49 remaining.
Yeah, the home crowd loves that, not only because it's another first down for the team, but it keeps that clock running and hopefully gets them out of this rain in a hurry. And it's going to be another first down for the Bobcats.
Machado gets pulled down for a nice loss. Good job there by the defense.
Yeah, very nice play there by the defensive line.
Number 12, Austin Gardner, in on that tackle.
Yeah, really exploded through the line. Machado, who had some nice running room earlier in this third quarter, got shut down and kind of wrestled down at the end of that play, forcing a second and long here. And that might force the Bobcats to kind of air it out a little bit to try to get the first down.
They're looking at a 2nd and 15 now. Fakes a handoff. Hayes takes it himself. Takes it to the outside, tries to cut back up the middle, and he's going to be taken down somewhere back near the 48-yard line or so. So able to get some of those yards back, but certainly not the sweep they had anticipated.
Yeah, we just witnessed another aspect of Tom Hayes' running game that I really like. Not only does he have that explosiveness on the outside, but he was very patient right there with his blocks. Didn't make the huge gain, but made an appropriate gain and more of a gain than he would have if he would have just cut straight up field.
Hayes back to pass, given some pressure, able to get out of the way, and throws that one just short to Johnny Porter. And see, that's the rain right there affecting that pass, because 9 times out of 10 he'll get that pass.
Yeah, unfortunately the pass wasn't there, but Hayes made a nice move to step up in the pocket, avoid the defender. And, with the weather conditions like this, he might be thinking about tucking it and running next time because he had a lot of real estate in front of him as well. But it's going to force the first punt of the game for the Bobcats, and that's exactly what this Cougars team needed.
Exactly.
So let's see if they can get some good field position here, get a touchdown, make this, another two or three two-score game.
Burnett and Topetti back to receive. Punt almost blocked. And fumble. We'll see if Paradise comes up with that ball, but it looks like they should have it. And that'll be a Paradise ball, it looks like. Paradise ball.
Like
Azil Topetti unable to bring in that catch. Looks like the ball was wet or something. Unable to get that one in.
Well, the Cougars had a fumble in their first possession of the ball game, and they had another fumble to start this second half, and that's just when you get a good, stop by your defense.
Yeah, exactly.
Obviously the rain he obviously had a factor on that ball, but unfortunately a young man couldn't bring it in, and now the Bobcats are in serious business.
Certainly discouraging. Nice job by Dixon. Able to take it to the outside. There is a flag thrown. Looks like a horse collar tackle. We'll see what they say here. Able to get down to about the 4 or 5 yard line.
Yeah, beautiful run there, but nice hole by that left side of the line. We called Dixon the bus, but the bus could have drove a little pickup truck through that hole. Nice job by the left side of the offensive line. And it looks like they're going to waive off the penalty, actually, which is fortunate for the Cougars, but not too much of a salvation because, once again, the Bobcats are in the red zone knocking on the door.
So 1st and goal from about the 6 yard line. No. 8:28 and ticking. Up the middle goes Dixon. Down to about the 2 or 3.
Yeah, and I think, I would be surprised if the Bobcats threw the ball here. They had the nice little play action to dance in the second quarter, but with the rain coming down like it is right now, you don't really want to jeopardize and, risk a dropped pass in the end zone. So let's see what Coach Prince and the offense dials up here to really put the game out of reach for the Cougars.
Hayes takes it himself to the outside. There is a flag on the play. Hey, guys. We'll see what the flag is. Oh, it's a holding on the Bobcats, so that'll move them back.
Yeah, that'll give the Cougars a lot more breathing room right now, and that's exactly what they need.
So that'll be a 2nd and goal from the 15-yard line. Hey, guys. Can you tell them to scoot back a little bit?
Penalty backs the Bobcats up to the 15-yard line. Remains 2nd down.
Dixon up the middle. And that's a 15-yard touchdown run. Nice job by Paradise.
Yeah, Dixon with one of his signature galloping runs into the end zone right there, utilizing the left side of the offensive line, which has played well not only in this series, but for most of this ball game. And it looks like the Bobcats are well on their way to going back to that title game next week with the score right there. And with that, once again, Dixon completes the hat trick with another multi-touchdown game, another 3-touchdown game.
So 7:04 remaining here in the third quarter. 34-6, the Paradise Bobcats on top.
I don't know if you folks at home can see right now, but Coach Prince rocking the shorts down on the field. Letting Coach Hamilton over there know that it's not that cold up here. It's not that way. Just a little. I don't know if that's a little mind game going on, but they are certainly used to this weather up here. So, kind of like as a player, you got to respect that as well.
You better be careful not to get a cold, Coach Prince. And that's fun. That's a coach having a good time, having fun with his kids.
Well, if the Bobcats hold on here, I think it would have to take the bubonic plague for Prince not to show up at that championship game next week. So he has done a fantastic job once again this season of getting this highly talented team motivated. Like I said, first time they've had 3 losses since 2007, but arguably one of the most, dynamic and a lot of parity in the Eastern Athletic League this year. A lot of good teams. And, Paradise was able to ride the ship, and they're well on their way to selling to that championship game.
And, that was an unfortunate break for the Cougars. They take the ball at about the 5 or 6 yard line. Topetti takes the ball down to about the 30-yard line or so, so a nice return there. I mean, that's just such a disheartening, fumble for them. They had something going, could have had something working there, and they just, unfortunate fumbles in this weather.
Yeah, the two fumbles to really start the first and the third quarter here for the Cougars have really been, there's been a lot of other plays, but it's really been the tone setter, and it has really set the complexion of this game early. So let's see if they can get some better ball security here and move the ball down the field like they had in the second quarter.
Pollard giving some pressure, rolling out. Quick pass for Cooper J, in and out of his hands. So that'll bring up a 2nd and 10. A nice job there by Pollard. He was given a little bit of pressure, able to scramble out and still, make a decent pass.
Yeah, and I mean, he had his man right there. Even though Cooper J had about 4 Bobcats swarming on him, he was able to put the ball right where Cooper J could get it, but unfortunately just couldn't connect it right there.
Blame that one on the rain for sure. It's a pretty interesting matchup there. Quarterback Tom Hayes versus Cooper J. We talk about that a lot with smaller rosters up here.
Pollard's the quarterback for the
no,
Cougars.
I'm saying Tom Hayes.
Oh, yeah, that cornerback matchup, absolutely. I'm sorry.
There's Cooper J again over the middle, able to pick up the first down. So nice job by Pollard to – I'm telling you right now, I really like how quick and, he throws quick strikes.
Yeah, and I think that's really not only when he's the most effective, but when this passing game is when the most effective too. Obviously, when the Cougars have dropped back, given the Bobcat defense a lot more time to react, they haven't been as successful. So let's see if they continue to get those short passes into the soft spots of the Bobcat zone in order to move the ball once again for a first down.
It seems that every time they pass, they're able to get some positive yards. The running game hasn't been able to get much going tonight. Pollard in the shotgun. Back to pass. Out throws his receiver, Capon. Covered there by safety Johnny Porter.
Yeah, he really had to put that ball right on the money, but it was just a few cents off on that throw. And, that's a tough throw for a young man to throw all the way across the field, away from the defender. Almost puts it there, and Capon really couldn't make a move on it in order to bring it in, and it's going to bring up a 2nd and long. But that's the aggressiveness that this Cougar team needs to show right now, to show that they're not backing down and they can still climb back into this ball game.
Pollard in the shotgun. Fumbles the ball. There's no question about that one. That one was definitely a fumble. He had the ball knocked out of his hand. And that's a turnover, another turnover. Just when they start getting something cooking, an unfortunate incident like that happens. It's just they can't catch a break tonight.
Yeah, that's right, Matt. That's really been the story of this Cougar team so far. 2nd turnover this quarter, 4th overall. And with turnovers like that, the Cougars are going to be saying a lot of what-ifs at the end of this ball game.
There was a similar situation back in the first half where, he bobbled the ball or something, and they called it an incomplete pass. There was no mistake about that one.
Yeah, it looks like he just got it rocked out of his hand. The ball kind of did like a dying duck out of his hand to the ground, and the Bobcats were able to pounce on it.
Big Dixon, now wearing number 42, marches forward for about 5 or 6. Oh, excuse me, about 7 or 8, down to about the 38-yard line.
I think he was hit about 4 or 6 yards and then continued to about 5 or 8. And as we said all season, when you can have a young man that can run the ball and be your bulldozer, it really sets up a really dynamic offense with Burrows, who can hit you on the outside, and Tom Hayes, who can just pull the ball out and take it down the sidelines a long way himself.
So, correction, they spot that on about the 42-yard line or so. 2nd and 4. Dixon again. to the outside, able to pick up the first down.
I know that the Cougars defense isn't having much fun, but I can tell that offensive line for the Bobcats is not only loving the score, but loving the rain. And I know as a player, I always loved a good mud football game.
Oh, yeah.
And just, so, unfortunately the Cougars aren't enjoying it too much, but it's always fun to watch the young guys play in the rain like that. Kind of makes me a little envious, too.
There you see number 65, Cameron Williams, running in for the play. Dixon for a couple. Willie Dixon in on that stop.
And this is where you're going to see the patience and poise of this Bobcat offense. Already had the score well in hand. Now, Coach Prince is probably going to be working on a lot of stuff for next week.
Hayes gets taken down behind the line of scrimmage. A nice sack there. I think that was number 65 or 85. I can't tell because he has a muddy jersey.
Yeah, the white jerseys are starting to turn a little brown out there, but that was a nice play. Excuse me, that was a nice play right there by Cameron Williams. I think the center might have slipped a little bit when he was going to go pull out, and Cameron Williams took advantage of that and was all over Hayes. And is going to force a third and long here.
And now the rain is really starting to come down.
And I couldn't really check. I heard that on the PA, but it sounded like that Chico was still leading Enterprise into the third quarter. I'm not sure what the score was. I couldn't hear it, but we'll try to get that updated for you as soon as we can. But looks like if Chico, not to look ahead too much, but that Chico Paradise game is not only going to be a heck of a championship game, but a heck of a rematch that we saw with that overtime thriller at Asgard Yard down in Chico, and that's going to be a highly anticipated bout between those two teams. Two very different offenses, two very dynamic. Both have very dynamic athletes that really work for their systems, and I think it's really going to come down to if the Chico defense can hold back the rushing attack for the Bobcats. I think if they can, they have a fantastic chance, but Paradise has entered the season as the favorite, and they're looking like the favorites tonight once again.
Wyatt Landreth, the injured Cougar, able to make his way off the field on his own. The thing I like about Chico's offense is the threat of Trevon Reed and Daniel Robbins. And Paradise, although they're good at defense, they have a bit of trouble with the passing game. They're not able to fight off that passing game very well. We've seen it here tonight, too.
Yeah, they looks like
passes over the middle, and that's what they like to do a lot.
Yeah, that's a play they like to get Johnny Porter on a lot, is that seam route right up the middle. Looks like, Hayes couldn't really put it on the spot right there, but no harm, no foul with a 34-6 lead with 3 minutes left. And it looks like they're just going to punt the ball away to the Cougars.
So another big stop there by the Cougars.
Hopefully the Cougars can retain possession on this punt.
Blake Burnett back to receive. Nice high slippery kick there by Matt Machado.
Burnett takes it at the 8. Breaks a couple tackles.
Nice job, able to get that one out to about the 15-yard line. Shedding a few tackles on his way out there.
Yeah, it looked like it was pretty close to a clip on that play. But referee looked like the young man who made that block out of his head in front, and Cougars able to pick up some yardage there on the punt. I just heard that was a 14-13 lead, Chico over Enterprise right now. So that game very much far from over up in Reading.
Yeah. Run up the middle by Maddox. Able to get down to about the 22-yard line or so. Picks up a couple.
Zephyr King on that stop, and he's had a very
He's had a
very
great-
disciplined, strong night at the linebacker spot, and has really been, the physical and emotional leader of this team all year, and is showing up once again when his team needs it the most.
He does a fantastic job of reading those plays. Quick pass, or quick toss out to Shaddix. Shaddix stopped immediately. So that'll bring up a third down now. Third and about 6.
Matt, I think the exterior of this field, which the Cougars were trying to work a lot in the first half because it wasn't as wet or slippery, that advantage is definitely gone now. And I think that's the reason why this offense has gotten so bogged down, because that advantage has been taken away on the outside.
It certainly doesn't help with guys like Izzy Welch and Zephyr King. Those two linebackers shutting everything down. See, there we go. Nice coverage again over the middle. Drew Miller wants a flag, and he's not happy.
Yeah, he's not going to get it either. It was just...
He's complaining there was a little bit of contact with Izzy Welch.
Yeah, just also, the throw didn't really help him out either. But he's not going to get the call, and it's going to force another punt for the Cougars. Oh, excuse me.
Yeah.
The PA announcer was wrong. It was actually a 14-13 Enterprise. So and that's another intriguing matchup. Oh,
a long snap there. That goes back into the end zone. You better get rid of it in time, and that's a safety. Nice job by Paradise.
and
You don't see those too often at the high school level.
No, and it wasn't. It looked like the snap was really high, and once again, the weather really
Yeah,
bogging down
certainly.
the Cougars. Looks like the ball kind of slipped, was just sailed on the center a little bit, and the punter wasn't able to make a play on it, and the Bobcats are going to be getting the ball back with an extra 2 points to their score.
And see, again, that's just another unfortunate instance for the for the Cougars, who can't seem to catch a break here tonight. So the Bobcats will be back on offense after this punt as the result of a safety.
Right, and as I was saying before, that play, not only would the Paradise Chico potential matchup be intriguing because of their last bout, but most certainly the Enterprise Paradise game that we saw on this field back in September was
the craziest game I've ever seen.
Certainly one for the ages, and both games have the potential to be unbelievable rematches. So we'll see if obviously it looks like Paradise is going to go on to, barring the unbelievable happening here, Paradise is probably going to go on to win this game, and either way they're going to meet a familiar foe and relive another epic rematch.
For those of you folks that don't know the story of that game, Enterprise had the opportunity to win it by going for 2 points, pushing Paradise back into their own end zone.
Yeah, in overtime. That's right.
In overtime, fumbled the snap. Paradise ball. Paradise wins.
Yeah, they won by 1 point, and even Coach Prince knew that they were 1 point. They could have been easily on the other side of that score. So both games are going to be highly anticipated either way.
Johnny Porter takes it from the 23-yard line. Finds nice room up the middle. Gets it all the way down to the 30-yard line of the Cougars. That kid's incredibly fast.
Yeah, he is.
Extremely talented athlete.
Very talented and has great vision as well in the kickoff game.
It's fun to watch him.
He is definitely someone that opposing coaches put the star on, when they start their game planning for the week. You definitely need to know where he is on the field at all time because he can score from any position.
So my feeling is if they score here, Tom Hayes will come out and they'll let their other quarterback, just to give some of these starters a rest for next week.
Yeah, especially with the field conditions like this.
You don't want a guy slipping and breaking a leg or an ankle or anything.
Exactly. I think Jonathan Dixon is breaking a lot of hearts and egos with runs like that.
I'm not sure why they changed his jersey, but he's wearing, Dylan Knox's jersey, unless Dylan Knox is out there somewhere. Yeah, there's another 42 down on the sideline. It's Dylan Knox. So Jonathan Dixon's wearing number 42. Threw us for a loop. There he goes.
It doesn't really matter what number he's wearing because he's had the Cougars numbers all night, especially with another huge run right there.
Takes that one to the outside, gets down at about the 5-yard line or so it brings up another 1st and goal. This has been the trend here tonight for the Bobcats.
Yeah, just as you said, Matt, Cougars, whenever they try to get, their momentum cooking in their kitchen, she just hasn't had any of it. And, the Bobcats have been able to capitalize on the Cougars' mistakes and, really put this game out of reach in this third quarter.
At this point, it's pretty much out of reach. They have a comfortable 30-point lead with a minute remaining here in the third quarter. Knocking on the door again. Dixon up the middle. He's in for another Paradise touchdown.
And that is touchdown number 4 for Mr. Dixon right there. Capping off an incredible night and an unbelievable season for this young man.
This running game of the Bobcats is proven relentless at this point. I mean, there's no stopping this running game.
Yeah, their offensive line, this team really goes as their offensive line goes. And if they can play at the level that they've played at most of the season, it's they have a very good chance of bringing that championship back to the Foothills once again.
So what we've been saying, if Enterprise wins, the game will be in Reading. And if they lose, Chico is the number 6 seed. Where's your bracket?
Let's see. Let's do some bracketology here. I'm not sure if that's going to apply to championship games because I know most championship games are played at a neutral site, and I know nobody wants to come up here for the Foothills, but Chico is the number 4 seed, and Enterprise is the number 1 seed. Paradise the number 2 seed. So that game will more likely be played at a neutral site, and it will probably be at Harrison Stadium, where it will be a lot drier than our current accommodations right now.
It'll be at Harrison Zarchin Stadium. That's Matt Zarchin, our producer, sitting right next to us, having himself a fun time, wiping the rain off the table with a Ziploc baggie. What's up, man? You having fun? He shook his head, yes.
A very sarcastic yes, I think, at that. But
Sutter Wyatt with the extra point attempt. 42-6 is the score with 58 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. A very hard-fought game here by the Cougars, unable to have things go their way tonight. A couple of unlucky breaks and turnovers.
No, and as I said, in the second quarter, it looks like they really kind of found the rhythm offensively with the short passes, and both to the outside and in the middle of that Bobcat zone. But whenever they needed to make that big play, to make that push, to cut down the lead, it just really hasn't happened for them, which is unfortunate because like I said, they've had a fantastic season, and if this does end up being their 4th loss. That's 2 losses to Paradise, 1 loss to Enterprise, and like I said, another loss to Placer, who is the number 1 seed in the San Joaquin section and playing tonight in this quarterfinal. So it will be a bitter pill to swallow for these Cougars, but, tip of the cap to them on a great season as well. And let's see if this, they still have a quarter left to play here, so this will be the last time a lot of these seniors will be on the field.
Last game of their careers potentially, so you got to make this fourth quarter count. Play for pride at this point. Burnett and Topetti back to receive the kickoff. Topetti takes it all the way across field, surprisingly. Still on his feet. Able to get, wow, nice return there. Gets to about the 45-yard line.
Yeah, beautiful return right there. Looks like the right side opened up. Maybe caught a couple Bobcats outside of their lanes. Bounced off his own player, and I think the wetness of his jersey let him slip almost a tackle as well. So this is probably one of the best starting field positions for the Cougars all night. And let's see if they can make something happen here to make this a more respectable score.
44 seconds remaining here in the third quarter. Pollard in the shotgun. Burnett in motion. Another bad snap.
Oh.
And that's going to be taken there by Paradise. And this is just unbelievably bad luck.
Bad luck, and, sometimes curses comes in threes, and that is the third fumble of this fourth quarter. And, oh, man, that's my heart goes out to the Cougars. It's great. It's amazing to see how one team can be so affected by the weather, by the rain,
exactly.
and the other, and the Paradise, it almost like, it almost fuels their offense a little bit, and they haven't made the same mistakes. So unfortunately,
Paradise is playing almost as if it wasn't raining at all.
No, they're very much, as they are literally at home here.
That's major home field advantage playing on this grass field in the rain, in the mountains. I mean, it's just a perfect scenario for the Bobcats.
At this point, it's about 80% grass and 20% mud. At this point, it looks like
a timeout, possibly?
Have a stoppage of play here. Yeah, a timeout for the Bobcats.
So timeout taken by the Bobcats, the first timeout of this half. This has just been a fun, interesting game, Certainly tons of different factors, with the turnovers, the weather. It's just been crazy. It's, like you said, it's favorable to the Bobcats, and it's been unfavorable to the Cougs.
Yeah, it'll be interesting to see if the Bobcats see the same weather next week, even though the game will more likely not be here, in Wraith Field. But, if it does rain next week, that is a huge advantage for the Bobcats. Not too sure what the weather's going up like in Reading, but I'll tell you what, you put this football team on the field when it's raining, and I really like their chances.
Yeah.
I don't really
even with dealing with the rain on a turf field, it would still most likely play to their advantage.
Yeah, they've played a very clean football game for the most part. I mean, only a few slips here and there. Haven't really had the same fumbles and turnovers that, the Cougars have suffered with, and mostly due to the weather. So, that's got to be encouraging for Coach Prince going into next week, knowing that the weather's not going to really affect them or shouldn't really affect them too much, I should say.
So that'll be the last play of the third quarter. Now we get them on our end of the field, which will be nice to see right now.
And unfortunately for the Cougars, no pun intended, but when it rains, it does pour, and they've just gotten a downpour of Bobcat offense in that third quarter.
They had a great season, though. They went 8-3. Played some pretty darn tough teams, as you were saying earlier.
Well, they were also 5-0
with Placer and
they were also 5-0 at home this season. So they were, they were a tough team to play.
They have a lot to be happy about.
So a lot of, this program is obviously moving in the right direction, and hopefully they'll bounce back next year. And obviously, Paradise continues almost nearly their decade of dominance up here in the northern section. Was it 5 or 6
I had some interesting numbers,
titles? I believe it is 5 section
They've
titles
appeared
in the last 10 years.
Like 7 out of 8 or something ridiculous like that.
Yeah, I'm going to see if I have those notes from that game. But
that just speaks to the success and drive that Coach Prince has for his guys and this football program here. Paradise has really kind of built a dynasty up here these past 10 years, like you were saying. The offense that they run is the wing T, and it's the same exact styled offense that they run at the Pop Warner level. So certainly getting into high school, learning the same system that you already know and have grown up with is just extremely advantageous. And it's really, you can really see how, comfortable they are running it. And
oh, yeah. By the time they, especially as an offensive lineman, you're used to making those same blocks all the way from Pop Warner to your senior year of high school. That is a huge advantage, and I'm sure that's something that a lot of other junior programs are looking at, or have certainly been looking at over the last few years.
That was number 4, Joe Gessick, jumping off sides. So you can see Paradise beginning to rotate in some of the younger guys, give the starters a rest for next week. You know, 12 minutes to go here in the fourth quarter. I mean, they're going to be running the ball a lot here. Start killing the clock. Nice run there. Bouncing in and out of the line. That was a great run right there. That was Matt Machado. Avoided about 3 or 4 tackles there.
It looks like that penalty will help out this Cougar defense.
And so you can tell that these new guys are coming in now.
Yeah.
2 straight penalties.
And Matt, it is disappointing to see the defense have this performance. Obviously, the offense and special teams hasn't given them the greatest field position to work with here in the second half. But this has been a defense that's given up 15 points a game in their 4-game winning streak. But obviously, Paradise is a team that's had their number, because the last time these two were on the field, the defense gave up over 600 total yards. So, obviously, this Foothill team is really eager to find a win, especially on Wraith Field. But unfortunately, it's not going to happen this season. But that's a goal that, as a program, you can set that benchmark next year. We want to beat this team on this field, and that's something they can do.
There's Machado again up the middle. Nice tackle by number 32, Evan Dahlquist. And he would have been gone if it weren't for Dahlquist.
Yeah,
nice job there, ripping him down.
Yeah, nice game-saving, or excuse me, not game-saving, but touchdown-saving tackle right there. So and lets this defense play for another down.
So that was a 3rd and 11 now. Nathan McFarland, number 58, running the play in. James Hingst, one of those backup running backs.
Yeah, it would
gets tripped up at about the line of scrimmage, falls forward for about a yard.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see if Coach Prince goes for a field goal here, maybe try to get some work in with the wet field and kind of prepare for next week, because that could be something they could see next week. But looks like they're just going to keep the ball on the ground. Might be the safest bet.
The clock ticking right now. Prince likes to do this a lot. Keep the clock moving, keep the ball on the ground. 9:50 to go here in the fourth quarter. Machado sweep to the outside. Run down there by a group of Cougars. So big stop there.
Yeah, it looks like Austin Gardner was the one leading the pack for the Cougars right there. Bobcats try to go with a little misdirection counter play around the wide side of the field, but Gardner was able to sniff it out and made one of the few stops here by the Cougar defense, who's mostly had their back up against the wall most of the second half. And really, the Bobcats really haven't had to work with a very long field most of the time, so that's also been part of the downfall.
Bullard in the shotgun. Hands it off there to Shaddix. Shaddix finds nice hole. Jumping over defenders. I hope you saw that. That was pretty cool.
Oh,
he jumped over one of the middle linebackers.
Yeah, he certainly did, and definitely one of his strongest runs of the night.
Picks up about 15 or 20 on that one.
Yeah, Shaddix is a guy who does need a full head of steam to get going. Nice job to get him.
Especially on this wet field.
Yeah, it is very hard for him to get going, but obviously one of his strongest runs of the night, and the Cougars pick up another first down.
Capon in motion. Another handoff to Shaddix. Gets stopped, but not taken down. Gets about 1 or 2 positive yards before getting pushed back.
And we will try to update you on that Chico Enterprise game. As we said last time we heard, Enterprise was leading Chico 14-13. Still waiting to hear if the stadium announcer will announce it soon. As soon as he does, we will let you know.
Time winding down in this game, 7:45 remaining. And a false start there by one of the offensive linemen.
And, usually I was an offensive lineman, you try to kind of deny it, but there's,
there's no
denying it on that one right there.
When you're the only one moving.
Yeah, unfortunately, the young man jumped a little too early there, and it's going to put his team back 5 yards.
And it sounds like Enterprise 21-13 over Chico in the third quarter.
Quite the ball game going on down there.
So it looks like we could have an interesting rematch from a few weeks ago. Pullard intended for Cooper J. In and out of his hands. There is a flag, however. 2 flags. I'm not sure what the call will be, but Cooper J made a nice diving attempt to corral that one in.
And that's what I really love about that Cooper J. Even in the last time these two teams met, he did have the final scoring touchdown to make it 53-25. And he's a guy who just never really gives up on a play and never really gives up on a game. And, that's shown through his 17 receiving touchdowns this year. So he certainly has a bright future as well.
Absolutely. It's been fun to watch him tonight, get to know him.
Hopefully he is a senior this year. This will more than likely be his last game. And hopefully he does end up going into the next level somewhere.
This is the first time I've seen this team. Oh, see, in and out of his hands right there. And he appears to be limping right now. So that's unfortunate. The kid we were just talking about is limping off the field. And like you said, what could be his last game ever.
Yeah, and that's fine. That's too bad. As a senior, you want to make sure, even though no matter what the score is, you want to play every last down. And it looks like they're going to be carrying him to the training table.
It's an emotional ride, man. Your last game as a senior, regardless of whether you're going to continue to play football or not, it's a sad deal. Remember we went through with my brother. I never played varsity football. I played lacrosse.
But no, you're right. It is a very emotional experience, and especially for all those seniors, the hardest thing at the end of the game is taking off those pads for the last time, knowing it's the last time you're going to be wearing them. So, and last time, you're going to be together as a family, and that's going to be a long, disappointing bus ride for the Cougars.
But at least you're with your brothers, though.
That's right.
Starting to get choked. I'm just teasing. 5:15 remaining here in the fourth quarter. Another bad snap. Able to get that one out, though. And a great kick.
Yeah, that was a wise decision.
To get away from that one.
Just get away from it. Not even let the Cougars get a chance to jump back on it.
That was Elijah Guerrera.
Yeah, we'll see who the Bobcats field here on offense. I think this might be the time that you were saying where Tom Hayes, gets on the sideline, maybe tries to dry himself off a little bit.
Oh, no, I think I see him in there.
What's going to happen first? Tom Hayes comes off the field or our tent collapsing on us? What would you put our Vegas odds on that one?
Oh, man, I don't know. I think we'll be all right. We have that trash can there.
Yeah, our producer gave a 3-1 odds on the 10.
Machado gets a couple, and now the rain really starting to come down hard.
So, yeah, obviously we will be seeing if Enterprise holds on to win that game. And, those are the really two teams. I mean, other than that Red Bluff game, which Paradise lost by 3 games, those two teams have really kind of met the challenge of beating Paradise this year. And whoever wins that game, it's undoubtedly going to be a fantastic championship game in the D1.
Nice handoff there, or excuse me, nice run up the middle. That was number 21, James Hingst. And here you see fans starting to leave. The rain's definitely picking up here, and all they need is, actually, I think that might do it for the game, pending another first down. But with 3 minutes to go, this game is pretty much.
That's pretty much all she wrote. So Paradise will be going back to the title game once again and facing a very.
At this point, it looks like Enterprise.
Yeah, either a very scrappy Enterprise team or a very athletic Chico offense.
Enterprise will be looking for revenge.
You know, at this point, even if it is Chico or Enterprise, you know, it's hard not to like this Paradise team heading into that championship game. It very much is, and the home crowd agrees with me right now. Yeah. Yeah, and so, I mean, it's both Chico and Enterprise can absolutely, as we've seen throughout the season, can make it a ball game. But I think, if the Bobcats don't forget who they are, play within themselves, they're right on track for another championship.
Hinks again on the carry. Gets about 2 or 3, bringing up a fourth and about 2 or 3. So a minute 45, that's going to pretty much do it for the game here, folks. Like we said, Paradise will be headed back to the Eastern Athletic League Division I championship game, looking to take on, pending the result of the other game.
Exactly.
Chico or Paradise.
Well, man, I know election season's over, but if I had to vote for player of the game here, I would definitely have to go with Jonathan Dixon.
I'd say so, too.
1, 2, 3, 4 rushing touchdowns. Obviously, Dance had that big 48-yard pass play, but Dixon, once again, as he has been all season, has been a relentless force with this game and scored 4 touchdowns. So congratulations to him. Dixon as our player of the game. We would try to get an interview with him, but we're too afraid that our equipment would just get too soaked trying to get him up here. So we will be seeing him and the rest of the Bobcats squad next week in the D1 championship game.
And I really am looking forward to it. That'll do it, folks. They'll take a knee here, and that'll do it for the game. Thank you for joining us here at PlayOnSports.com. The Paradise Bobcats are heading back to the championship game. Thanks for tuning in.
We can get a player up here.
Oh, that's good stuff.
All right, perfect. Prepare a Wiley Ballard graphic.
Do you want me to start the stream?
Start the stream. Camera 3. Beautiful. We're coming in on 1. For more information on how your school can join the Play On School broadcast program, go to playonsports.com/SBP.